Hey guys, musicninjamat here. Wanted to talk about the Elimination Chamber, but mainly sort of focus on Kofi Kingston and the huge push he's been having, and then talk a little bit about Raw and SmackDown and some of the NXT guys turning up there. Obviously there will be spoilers for Elimination Chamber and Raw and SmackDown, and I'm going to put time codes for everything down below. So with Elimination Chamber we had the pre-show, of course. And there was some cool stuff. Mojo Rawley had a weird and intense promo. We had our moment of bliss, which is always a good thing. We had the Cruiserweight title match. These matches are always awesome, pretty much always guaranteed to be my favourite match. I was a bit annoyed that it got interrupted when they had the two screens and they were interviewing New Day while the match was going on. I like the New Day, it was actually a pretty good promo, but don't do this during the match. These matches are just always well paced, they're gripping, and they're fun throughout. I had Buddy Murphy to retain, and he did. With him now, where does he really go? Could he possibly move to SmackDown? Something like that. I like the fact that Kevin Owens is being painted as more of like a family man and he's more chilled out. And a lot of people think maybe he'll be the one to go to Mania to fight for the WWE title, which could be interesting. And Mark Henry turning up was awesome. I'm assuming this was because his documentary was debuting after the show, so they wanted to promote that. And honestly, really good documentary, so worth watching. It's funny and entertaining, emotional, just awesome. Moving on to the main show, and we had the women's tag team title Elimination Chamber match. There were some really fun tag team maneuvers in this in general. There was good storytelling, just some great moments. The Iconics really stood out in this one. Overall, the match was okay. It was fine. And Bayley and Sasha winning was what I thought would happen. It's what everyone thought would happen. It's the obvious choice, but they do deserve it. We had the SmackDown tag team titles, and I still am struggling to get on board with Miz as a good guy. I just miss heel Miz. He's just naturally suited to being a heel. I thought they would retain here, but they didn't. They dropped the belts to the Usos, and then I thought maybe Miz would turn heel and attack Shane, but he didn't do that either. And somewhere down the line with the rematch, a lot of people actually think it will be Shane that turns heel. The Intercontinental title match. Wasn't a fan of the handicap stipulation, and to be honest I thought Lashley was going to retain, but I'm actually quite happy to see Finn win and have a title. And Lashley turning on Lio Rush, just beating him up, I was like, this is silly to me. The Raw women's title match, which ended up being a squash match, and I feel bad because Ruby Riot's actually really good. Like, I did pick Ronda to retain, but this was a bit of a joke. I think it was because, though, of course, we had Becky come down, she went full Stone Cold, just starts attacking people with her crutch, and that was absolutely amazing. The no disqualification match, which I really couldn't care less about, to be honest. I thought Braun was going to win this one, but Corbin won with the help of Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley. Why is this a thing? Why are these three chums? They even did the triple power bomb like the Shield, and everyone was like, whoa, there was another trio that did that, and I'm just like, what is this? I just think at this point Baron Corbin really needs a new gimmick, because this one's really run out of steam. We had Lacey come out and then leave again, and I was like, oh, maybe they'll do something, because it went to commercial break and nothing happened, and I'm wondering if this is going to be something she does from now on. Just walks out, walks back, and it's a way to tease the audience of her debut. Then finally we get to the WWE Elimination Chamber title match, and this was the one match I was actually excited for and really cared about. This match was really fun because everyone had good moments. We had things like Samoa Joe just not selling Daniel Bryan's chops. We had AJ still mounting an offense when he was tangled up in the ropes. We had Randy Orton's awesome RKO on AJ Styles. And especially with AJ, and after the reception he had at the Rumble, I was really happy to see people were cheering and they were interested in this title, in AJ and Daniel Bryan. And I thought Daniel Bryan would retain. That was my pick. But I really wanted Kofi to win. And this is where I'm going to sort of talk about Kofi and what happened with him and his push he got. When Kofi got added, I thought nothing of it. I thought, okay, he's going to be a spot filler. Whatever, fair enough. Then he went on in a gauntlet match on SmackDown to beat Daniel Bryan, Jeff Hardy and Samoa Joe, and he had this amazing moment against AJ where AJ's going, Kofi, you don't need to fight anymore, you've got nothing to prove, and Kofi slaps him, gets in his face, and he's saying, fight me, I've waited 11 years for this opportunity and you're not going to spoil that for me. And I thought this was amazing. Apparently this big push was actually the plan for Mustafa Ali anyway, but I think it works better for Kofi. He is someone that has been there for 11 years, someone that is entertaining, he's consistent, he puts on good matches. This is a guy that really does deserve a push. When Kofi came out at this pay-per-view, the reception was okay, but not as loud as I thought it was going to be. But by the end of the match, people were going crazy for him. The battle he had against Daniel Bryan when it came down to those two at the end, just an amazing moment and an amazing match in itself. When he kicked out of the knee, I was losing my mind. I hadn't lost my mind like this at an Elimination Chamber since Daniel Bryan and Santino Marella. And it was so back and forth, and you start to believe Kofi's going to win it. But the moment he was on top of the pod and went for a dive, I knew he was losing. Daniel retains, and Daniel left quickly. And the New Day came down and told Kofi to just soak this moment in. And Kofi was there, everyone cheering him, this incredible moment. And I thought maybe the New Day might turn on Kofi. But they didn't do that. They just had the New Day have this amazing moment. And it was really nice to see. It was nice to see him be able to stand there and soak it all in, and for everyone to just sort of thank him for being amazing and for putting in all this hard work for all these years. After this though, it made me think, is he retiring? Could this be a send-off for him in the next couple of weeks? Could this be something where they go, Kofi deserves a moment, but he'll have just a moment where he's a big deal and then he'll slide back into the tag division and they'll just go on as normal? Or will he head to Mania in a match with Daniel Bryan? He did get another win over Braun on SmackDown, and he's actually heading to Fastlane. I thought though, if Kofi does lose, what do they do with him? I'd love to see him at Mania, and I think the only way you can really book that is a case of Daniel Bryan has Rowan help him win, so Kofi can be like, look, no Rowan, no other members of the New Day, just me and Daniel Bryan one-on-one. And then yeah, we had some call-ups on Raw and SmackDown. Because we had Ricochet, DIY and Aleister Black. They all turned up on Raw. They all had amazing matches, and Raw felt a little bit like NXT for a moment, and I thought this is what Raw should and could be. They all appeared on SmackDown as well, and don't get me wrong, the matches were still good, but it didn't have the same impact because SmackDown's usually a pretty solid show anyway, so their impact really shone on Raw because it helped Raw improve. And it was weird as well because, like, on Raw, Triple H looked like he was having a really fun time. He said that some of the stuff Becky Lynch did, he was like, it was pretty cool, right? And we found out DX was going in the Hall of Fame, and Raw was just actually okay for once. But I'm wondering what they'll do with these NXT call-ups. Are they called up? Or are they just NXT superstars that are invading Raw and SmackDown to prove, like, we're better than all this main roster talent? If those four go up, you've got Velveteen Dream and, like, the Undisputed Era left as your big stars, but obviously they'll easily build more big stars. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe as it really helps the channel out. Check out the links in the description down below. Check out the whole channel, especially the playlists, and I will see all of you in the next one.